It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margee McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. My name is Margee McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hi, everyone. I am Ramona Ramirez. Margee, my friend, my ray of sunshine, my direct artery to Los Angeles, and, the foundation of so many of my fond memories. I'm so happy to see you.
Me too. I love these Thursday mornings because
Me
we
too.
get to talk. We have like a 50-minute therapy session with each other right
Exactly.
before we start these podcasts.
Exactly.
So it's so nice.
So
It's
great.
real centering. It's a nice way to start the day.
Hells yeah. Thursday is like my favorite day of the week.
Same. We're gonna do Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This was the season finale, and as always, didn't write down a title.
This was the C-Fi, and it was Soirees and Separations. Soirees and Separations
Okay.
is the title. I consider myself to be smart. I consider myself to be well-read. I don't think that being smart and being well-read equate to being a perfect spellers. I cannot, for the life of me, spell separate or separation or any iteration of separate without having to think real hard. Is it an A or is it an E? Separate, separate. And like all the time I was taking my notes last night, the computer's like, bitch, that's spelled wrong. And I'm just so humbled. Like, why? Anyway, just a little sidebar.
We've also grown dependent on I should say, speak for myself. I have grown dependent on spell check. I don't know what I'm doing ever, and I don't even try anymore. I'm just like, I, it'll fix it for me on
Totally.
onward. Who cares?
Oh my God. Thanks, Grammarly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at SoFi for a walkthrough for Kyle's annual white party. And right off the bat, I got triggered. I'm sure you did too.
Skinny as a needle. I was
skinny
like,
as
great.
a needle.
And then
You
her
look
response,
and you look incredible. That's listen.
And she does. She looks great, but it's
she
just
does.
Like, such a
she
bummer.
does. But can we just can we not? Can we? That sounds so reductive. Can we not? But what I'm saying is, why does skinny have to be the incredible? Also, people become skinny for many different reasons. Sometimes they are health issues. I don't know, like, commenting on people's bodies is just, it's not a thing anymore at large. Right? Is this still, or am I just being naive, which
No,
I'm
I think
prone to be?
I'm remembering my first reaction to seeing Erika on camera at the beginning of the season, and it was shocking. I didn't recognize her. So part of me forgives this woman for being like, like, what is this? What are you? Like,
Right,
she's a totally different creature. I mean, I would obviously prefer that someone just says, like, you look great.
Right.
And
You look
not
fantastic.
get specific about what you're picking up on.
Right.
And I also wonder if it's partly that she feels really good,
That's
like, I think she likes the body she's in, and you walk differently when you're comfortable in your skin. So skinny or not, if you're skinny with a health problem, it's a very different way that you move through the world than if you're skinny because you want to be and you feel great. So
agreed. I just didn't like how I mean, we know we're speaking to the proverbial choirs here. It just didn't feel, it was just, right off the fucking bat, dude. Right off the fucking bat, especially
Beverly
and like
Hills,
with this
baby.
franchise. Exactly. Yeah, yada yada. Kyle's really leaning into Celine this whole season. She's just head to toe in Celine every fucking episode. Her jean jacket was Celine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just remember her sweatshirt that was like Aspen. I was like, oh, okay, Kemosabe.
Oh, Jesus.
Fine. Yeah. And Kyle's in a confessional says that this party is nostalgic because this is a party that the family has had for like a decade, or at least since the show's been on.
2004 was their first white party.
Ooh,
and
20 years.
Yes, nearly 20 years. I'm sure they had to take a break during, the first couple years of COVID. But the flashbacks of the 2010 and the 2013 Kyle and Mauricio, like, She says she'd rather focus on planning this party than talk about her marriage.
I get that.
Me too, dude.
More fun to like throw a big distracting party than to be like, should we get divorced?
With Kevin Lee, how exhausting. How exhausting. I he's so he's such a unique personality, Margie. He's a very unique personality. And I appreciate about Kevin Lee. He's extremely secure in who he is. And you know what? Good for you. And I really have liked the whole I don't fuck with Gucci no more unless it's like vintage, but I did like their whole Tiger campaign that they came out with in the last couple years. But he's freaky. I'm
I
sorry. He
mean,
freaks me out
he's a little he's a character, but I appreciate anyone who is consistently true to who they are, because then I
unapologetically
can like
themselves.
them
Yeah,
or I can
totally.
hate them because I know who they are. The scariest kind of people are the ones who are like, like Erika Jayne, who's like 1 minute like, "I'm so sorry," the next minute like, "I'm a victim. This is my comeback. I deserve this." It's like, "What?" I don't understand
Oh
anything
God.
that you're about. At least with Kevin Lee, you're just gonna get like crystals
She, Beverly
dripping
Hills.
yes, just like an embarrassing amount of decorative bullshit. And I thought Kyle did a pretty funny impersonation of Lisa Vanderpump,
She
because Kevin Lee
did.
is Lisa's party planner.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I remember all the parties he did for Vanderpump back in the
Hmm.
early days, and didn't he did Pandora's everything, right? He's done
Yes, I think he
everything.
did everything, and they were
I
all ridiculous.
I felt like I felt like that was real shitty of Kyle to
To do
throw
that
to throw
impression?
the impression was good, but I mean like just in general to throw not throw LVP under the bus, but like, why weren't you talking shit when she was on the show? Now you're doing it after the fact. And I guess it wasn't like terrible shit that she was talking. And maybe Vanderpump would even admit it herself. Like, yeah, I like over the top fucking parties. I have a swing in my backyard with like ribbons and flowers on it. I
I
have a
live right
miniature
by
pony.
yeah, I live right by Vanderpump Dogs, and they have like a giant gold like seated animal in front, and I'm just like, this is this is stupid. But yes, I mean, I don't know, it didn't bother me because it is, to me it is like Lisa Vanderpump is extravagant excess, Kevin
She
Lee
is
is
so
extravagant
extra. Yeah.
excess, and
Yes,
then
yes,
Kyle did the
yes.
funny impression, and that was fine.
Ay, ay, ay. Did you have any thoughts on Erika Jayne? And her little like confessional, like technically she's back, yes, but she wasn't booked by a promoter to play Sophie. She was asked by one of her castmates slash friends to play in front of what, 100, 200 people?
I mean,
Oh, God.
yeah, I think the word that you used, it's all technicalities. Like she
Yeah,
says, I'm back. I'm performing at SoFi Stadium, so take that. This is my redemption, my warm up for my Vegas residency. I'm like, technically, yeah, but your friend invited you to lip sync at a private event, and I don't think anyone. This doesn't redeem you from stealing money.
no,
But like, I don't know what
no.
you've missed the point, Erica. So
Right,
no, yeah, I
right.
just thought I mean, delusions of grandeur are, her
Yeah,
signature move right now.
again, um, I'm not here to diagnose anybody, but it makes it makes me okay, I feel a little bit no, I actually don't feel secondhand embarrassment for her. I feel like kind of I can't imagine saying something like that that is gonna be broadcast to people on television.
And look,
Like, if
she has had a really hard couple of years, but she manages to make it herself entirely unsympathetic. There
completely
was a way to move through this where we would feel bad for the drama going on in her life, that she makes it impossible
impossible,
to feel anything but
impossible.
seething white hot resentment for everything she says and does.
Just no humility. It's so wild. It's so I oh no, I've seen it. I've seen no humility IRL. I've lived with no humility IRL. Like not me personally, but you know. cough, cough, my father, you know? Like, I know it's so uncomfortable to be around when your feet are on the earth and somebody else's are in, you know, not. Someone else is in a different reality that they've concocted in their mind. And
Yeah, that,
anyway,
like, diluted state of mind of hero or victim, where
hero
there's
or
nothing
victim,
in
right?
between, where you could have done anything wrong, you couldn't have done anything that hurt someone, you're always the victim, or you're always, having one of these moments where, like, "I'm back. It's my comeback." What who cares? And also, who cares? Nobody, not to be rude, but nobody missed you. I haven't been going like, "Oh, where's Erika Jayne's new music?" And also, where is Erika Jayne's new music? She's saying it's expensive to
I
me. I'm like, "Is
right.
it 10 years ago? Who
Yeah.
cares?"
She's doing that reunion tour that all the bands do from when we were younger, and they go out and they're like, "We're gonna do all our hits," and we're all, "Fuck yeah, you are!" Like,
Mhm.
great. Yeah, all her hits. Oh god, and we'll get to her dancing later. The next scene we have, unless do you have anything to add about
Mm-mm.
SoFi? Okay. Um, Sutton and her daughter Porter's in town, and they go to Martin Katz's Jewelers, and Martin, the designer, is there, and so is Virginia, Martin's assistant. What I remember from LA is that, like, all the good jewelry stores were the ones that didn't have the storefronts. They were, like,
Appointment
downtown,
only.
appointment only in, like, a nondescript office building, and I don't know. Yeah, it just I love the show for the nostalgia for me. I really love getting to visit LA once a week. I really love Los Angeles. I've never not loved it. I get homesick every Thursday when I see it. I get homesick a lot of times. Anyway, Sutton says that asking for permission in her marriage, and I think she was referring to financial permission, was not
Yes.
fun. Being able to pick out and pay for her own jewelry is a big deal, and she wants Porter to see it. Her life is not was not muumuus and bonbons because she had extravagant, 0.01% wealth. The 1%, or like she and Christian are in the 1%, right?
Yes.
And she shares with Porter how it was really hard for her when her dad was moving and that she stresses to Porter to keep her independence. This scene made me, oof, I could cry. Like, I feel, see, whenever I have like that kind of reaction, if I was in therapy right now, my therapist would ask me, where am I feeling? Where am I feeling the emotions in my body right now? And my throat, like to like my solar plexus is tight. It's just tight. And I realize I'm not breathing. This scene hit me so hard. And I have a lot of judgment. And I have a lot of judgment. I don't know if I have shame, probably a handful, probably a tablespoon or two of shame about this, but I am a stay at home mom. I'm a voiceover actor and an actor. But especially up here in the Bay Area, like, those jobs aren't, super, like they're not flowing. They're not as widely or readily available as they were in Los Angeles. And I am financially dependent on my husband unless I've, booked a job. And even then, like, I'm still financially dependent. Like, at the end of the day, if I book a job, I could pay like a month's rent or like a couple car payments or whatever. But like, you know, obviously, like before Josh and I got engaged and I left my apartment in Silver Lake, my rent controlled, huge 2-bathroom, 2-bedroom, fucking light flooded parking spot, quasi view of downtown, hidden behind like a secret garden and a huge grass lawn that I hosted so many fucking amazing parties on. Like, I love that house. I lived in that apartment longer than I'd lived anywhere, even when my parents were married and when I was a kid. That apartment is my home. That's what I consider my home. And when I left it, that was the first not I mean, I wanted to be engaged and I wanted to move in with my husband. I moved to San Diego. Um and I yeah, when we we're done. When we moved to Chicago to work for Obama, I worked for a real estate firm for a while, and then we both earned money. I earned way less than he did. You earn no fucking money working on a presidential campaign, FYI. Like, that will come after the fact when you're able to consult. And when I say we, I don't mean me personally. I mean like anybody that not actually, no, I had an important job, but I'm just saying, like Josh can consult now. Like the CTO is consulting. Like, now those people are making a lot of money. But back when we were making campaign money, it's lean as fuck. And being financially dependent on another person when you are a really strong-willed, independent person is a mind fuck of proportions that I was not prepared for. And I wasn't prepared for how less than I would feel by not earning money and by having to. Now, I have never been told, no, I can't buy something. I may have been told, maybe not now, but later. I ask. Sometimes I ask for money, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. And I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I really did. And I get so much from it. I love being available to my child as he gets older. I think about going back and being a makeup artist again, just because it's fun and it would give me spending money and I would get to socialize. I really loved it. But at the end of the day, it is, and I haven't, trust me, I am the first person I don't judge any woman at all. Okay, that's not true. I judge trad wives because honestly, like, fuck them. That I can't get behind. Oh
Okay.
God. Ew, trad wife.
Oh, like traditional wife?
Yeah, like a trad
Okay.
wife is the one that's like, they're part of the whole alt-right white supremacist
No.
pipeline
Yeah.
thing where they wear dresses every day and they like to have dinner on the table when their husband comes home. Listen, if that's fine, but they eschew feminism and they think that their brand of womanhood is superior to other women that work, outside of the home. Oftentimes they homeschool. Um, uh, Oftentimes it's about like feminine energy and it's just this whole other world that creeps me the fuck out. It's terrible. Um, maybe I'll remember to add something about trad wives into the show notes. But gross. They freak me out. So those women I judge. I judge shitty people, okay? And yes, I just made a judgment that trad wives are shitty people. And if they're not shitty people, come at me. Tell me how they're not. Anyway, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have access to my own money, but it's not money that I earn. And that is so humbling. And I have been to so many social situations where it's like, oh, and what do you do? Well, I'm a voiceover actor. I'm an actor. I have a podcast. But it's like, you know, I'm financially dependent on my husband. And it's something that he'll never understand. I've talked to him about it so many times about how it feels. And he doesn't understand because he's absolutely fine with our arrangement. This is agreed upon. But when you have to ask, and you're an adult, it's like you're just rocketed back into your teenage years.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh, just,
I
I just,
had a
ugh.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it just brought up a lot of really uncomfortable feelings. And you're only as sick as your secrets. And I felt like I should share about how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I don't imagine I imagine that's a shared sentiment. But I just thought, Sutton said to Porter, she said, I just want you to know going forward in your life, keep your independence, fall in love, have babies, never lose that person, and don't let that hard worker in you go. And I just wrote, don't love this. Life has seasons,
Mm.
like look at your best friend Garcelle, whose sons are expressing to her the amount of resentment and disappointment that they have because she worked and was away. I just think it's unfair. That to me is saying have it all. do it all, have it all. It's like, that's not
Yeah,
fair.
it's not
Life has
fair.
seasons. She was 24
Yeah.
and a dancer in New York. Then she married a rich man and raised her kids. She was there with them, for them. She wouldn't have this relationship with Porter if she had been working, like, I
It's
just,
possible, yeah.
you give up things, to
Yeah.
get other things. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't, I don't think this was a fair conversation. And I also think it's a really easy conversation to have when you're getting $300,000 a month. Sutton is not working the way I'm working. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Sutton is not
know. She's
in,
not.
it's an easy thing to say when you don't have to make rent, or, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right. Yes,
She
she's not
knows
living
all of
paycheck
her
to paycheck.
needs. No, she just went,
She's not a single mom in the
she is
sense that
currently
right.
in a jewelry store looking at things, but in a price range of 45,000 to 9 million. Also,
$9
watch out,
million.
because PK's watching and he's going to rob you. But
Ah!
I understand what she's saying, but she
Yeah.
is the wrong mouthpiece for this conversation, because I just think that's too much to ask of your daughter. If your daughter wants to fall in love and be a stay-at-home mom and be close with her babies because that's an option, then fucking do that. And then if that's no longer satisfying, move with your life to the next chapter. But don't
Yeah.
fucking rule this shit out and say,
Yeah.
I don't think Sutton lost the hard worker in her.
No.
She was a hardworking mom. And
She
then
was.
when
Yeah.
her husband left and she had to discover a new life for herself, she did. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I was in no mood for this right now from
It
Sutton
was
in a
it
jewelry
yeah.
store saying, like, keep working. You don't want to be dependent on a man,
Right.
as she's buying jewels with her husband's.
$300,000 a month.
Yeah.
A month, not
And
even
she
a year, a
literally,
month. Yeah.
when he told her that ring was $9 million, she just was like, oh, my business manager would kill me. So, point being, you could afford it. The only person that's going to be up your ass about it is the person. Like, I just don't talk about being a hardworking, independent woman.
I hear you.
That's not your
Yeah.
story, and that's fucking great. But, like, yeah, don't put that on your kid.
Oh God. Yeah. And I contribute to my household. I mean,
Of
I
course.
do a lot of stuff. I am the COO. I am not the CFO of my own life. Oof, I could cry. Okay. It's
Yeah,
all
but
right. It's all right. It's all
I
right.
don't know if it's possible to, it's not possible. My sister, was in a two-income household when she was married, and they had to have a lot of help, like you just do. And so you don't get to raise your kids. You don't get to be there for every pickup and every performance and every sporting, like, that's what
Yeah.
you give up. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it depends on what you want, and none of it's complete, it's all like, it's all hard.
I mean, the bottom line is that women just can't fucking win no matter goddamn what. At least in this country, they can't win. And because it's like Garcelle's sons, I have faith that Garcelle's sons are going to, when they are older and maybe even before they have kids of their own, I think if they have kids of their own, listen, no one has to fucking have kids in my goddamn opinion. Honestly. Have them, don't have them, no judgment either way. I'm just saying that if I feel like when they're older, they're going to understand the choices that she had to make.
I think they already do. I'm just saying the facts are the facts.
Right,
Sutton is bitching about not being an independent woman, but she was home with her children. She will never have to have the conversation, you weren't home.
right.
Garcelle's kids love her, but she wasn't home. That's true. So, like,
Yeah,
both are true. Sutton didn't model being a working mom, and Garcelle didn't get to stay home with her kids all the time. So,
yeah.
like you said, you're just, you're fucked.
You're
It's, like,
fucked.
impossible
You're
to do
so
it.
fucked
And
because you're
that's why I
just,
was mad at
yeah,
Sutton for saying this to her kid, of like, do
yeah.
this, do that, and also stay an independent working woman. It's like,
Right,
what the
right,
fuck are you
right.
asking of her?
I,
Like, that's so
yeah.
unfair.
Especially because Porter, I'm assuming, I mean, unless Christian and Sutton are, I don't know what the fuck their arrangement is with their children, but like, this is generational wealth that these kids and their kids, should they have kids, and their kids and their kids, like, this family is set up unless they go by way of the fucking Hammer dynasty. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
so,
Which is why it's all hypothetical. Like
right.
Sutton saying, like, keep your independent spirit. It's like, if you want, like, you'll be fine either way. You can have a boutique that doesn't sell anything too, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just
Oh my God. I know. I also, I know for me, and listen, how do I say this? I don't regret my choice to be a stay-at-home mom. And, the older he gets, the more freedom I have to go find something else. It's just, um, I also don't want anything soul crushing again. Like I was an executive assistant when I was in LA, and I loved, at least that was my last job. I loved my bosses. They were so supportive of my career. They fully let me go on auditions whenever I needed to, and that was great. But I also had health insurance and, 2 weeks paid vacation, and I got a Tiffany necklace, and, like I got to pay my own rent and buy my car and, yada yada. And where was I going with this? Oh, I don't remember. Where was I going with this? Oh, I don't. Okay, but the actual work was still crushing.
mm.
I don't want to. I am very and oh wow, I can't believe I waited this long to say this. I'm very grateful to be in a position where I can be a stay-at-home mom, thanks to the Obama campaign, and by proxy, thanks to me because my husband asked me when he got the email. He's like, should I do it? I'm like, fuck yeah, you should do it. Are you kidding me? This is going to change our lives. And it did exponentially. Like, I don't know what would have happened before or if that choice hadn't been made. So I know my contributions. I know my
Yeah.
contributions that
I
don't
mean,
have a price tag, but, or
but I
a
wonder if
paycheck.
that's the better conversation to have with the next generation is like, if you're going to stay at home, get on salary, get on payroll, get paid
Dude.
out every month at a specific amount that you and your husband decide on.
Right.
And so that way, nobody is in a position to ask or need permission, or like you can budget your own shit because you're a salaried worker, like
Right.
maybe that's I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think it's saying like do everything, never stop being independent. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that's
I
too
mean, and
much.
and I do have a quote unquote salary. Like
Good.
I do get,
That's very sane.
money deposited into my account twice a month, just like he does. And,
Great.
but it's like if that runs out, then because, shit happens sometimes, like a
Mhm.
class comes up and it's X amount of dollars. But my point is, I am very grateful that I am in this position. And the fact that I have more of a reality check around it than Sutton does when she gets $300,000 a month.
She's a lost cause. Anyone who gets
God.
$300,000 a month, it's like, I can't talk to you. You don't live in a world that makes any sense.
Speaking of Sutton, like I listened to other podcasts, and I am the only one that is in denial about
About Sutton's
about
alcoholism and
Sutton's
her horribleness? Yeah, okay. Well,
oh, maybe not her horribleness, but
you'll come
definitely
around when
about
you
her
come around.
definitely
Yes.
about definitely about her drinking. She's
I
like,
mean,
"Nope, I gotta have a big purse. I gotta tote around my fucking ruby red ocean spray."
it's just not fucking normal. It's
I
not
know.
normal.
Oh God, oh
And
God.
this
Anyway,
episode too, like
I know.
there's a couple moments at the party where I'm like, you're wasted.
She's real committed to those ruby red greyhounds.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we go back to the SoFi for the actual party to get ready. Do you want to
I
anything
mean,
that
this is just like a
struck you?
glam montage.
Right, right, right. Getting ready montages. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, the
It.
only thing is
Yes.
Dorit FaceTiming PK.
Oh, girl.
That was a bummer. So on the screen, it shows us that this is day 25 of PK's London trip. And this Dorit tells us like this party's been on the calendar. He knew how important it was to her that he be there. And she expresses again that she's pissed off that he's absent. And she said, she tells him 8 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to handle this at all. And he's like, well, I wouldn't have done this 8 months ago. I would have come home. And I'm like, so what you're telling her is you could come home, but you're just choosing not to. Like,
I
she's not
mean,
important enough right now to come home. And then he says, I want you to put things in perspective. I was with you a few weeks ago. I'm going to be back next week. That's so rude. And also it's false because it turns out he stays 2 more weeks after this call. We find
Holy
out at the
shit.
end of the episode.
Yeah. And everything PK is saying, he knows he's a bag of shit for making this choice. He has to say these things to her in order to cope with the choices that he's making. That is my projection onto this, because he has no shreds of compassion or understanding or curiosity about why his wife might be having these feelings. And
I think he
obviously,
knows, and he just
yeah.
doesn't want to. He doesn't want to
Oh,
fly back. It's a
shit.
long flight, and he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He's in a comfy hotel, doing whatever the fuck he's doing over there. I don't know. I don't trust him, but
Josh could never be away from Leo for 25 days. My God, he would like explode from pain over being
thank
separated.
God you're married to Josh and
I
not
know.
PK.
Oh my
Like,
God.
and then Dorit
There but for
tries
the
tries to lighten
grace.
it up a little bit, and she says, I just like having you around, even if sometimes you're a pain in the ass. And then PK says this nonsense. He goes, sometimes I can't tell you about the sometimes because I can't get a word in. And I was like, what are you saying? And
Yeah,
also, that was just mean. And
yeah.
just say, sorry, I'm not there, babe. I'll be thinking, like, he's just so mean. I don't like it.
He's mean, and he's mean on camera. Like, we've all seen it now. We've all seen it. Like, there's no escaping it. He's a, oh shit. Because right now, Dorit had this whole season, she's been leading up to like the launch of her separation.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to happen. And she has a guaranteed storyline for season 14.
Smart lady.
Right? And I would venture that she is probably the main breadwinner in this duo, at least a consistent breadwinner in this duo. I don't know if she has sponsorships. I don't follow her on Instagram because I don't need to give myself a fucking rage stroke on the daily, but I would, that's my opinion. I'm sure there's so many other people that are watching this season that are like, oh yeah, she's separating from PK.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
She's
I
they're
think
they're headed.
this
Right.
here she says, like, it makes me worry, will we stay together? And then by the end of the episode, it sounds like she's resigned to
Yeah.
moving on from that turd. Then we're on
Ay, ay,
to
ay.
SoFi Stadium arrivals and, more glam. I don't know. Did any of this speak to you?
No, just
The
like Mauricio
Kyle's
shows
dress
up.
needs a comb.
I know. Mauricio shows up, walks through a gauntlet of showgirls, and then ends at a woman dressed in like an Art Nouveau velvet dress, and then the Rams cheerleaders, and he's stoned and he's fucking pumped. You
Yeah, he
know?
said, I'm feeling vibes from the
Yeah.
cheerleaders. I was like,
He's
ew, don't do this
so
right now,
gross.
sir.
Like he's so midlife crisis. Like, I know that none of us are immune to a midlife crisis. Like, I get that. But you don't have to you don't have to broadcast it by saying he's pumped and then shirtless snowboard in Aspen, I guess. It just really, like, is he going to want to go be on Winter House next? Is this where we're going,
I mean,
Mauricio?
yeah, he's just rich and successful and yeah, he's something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cynthia Bailey is there, and all we see of her is that she spills on Jeff Lewis, and I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. It was just so unnecessary to put in the edit that they did, and I
Oh my
love it.
God.
And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make the comment on what Sutton said about Mauricio when Kyle was going to walk in. That
Yeah.
we've been looking for him since that memorial service, and I was all, ooh.
I mean, but this again is where, and now see, this is my Sutton lens. I'm just like, it's a stadium. Is Mauricio really supposed to
Right,
know when a
right, right, right,
5-foot
right,
woman is like tiptoeing? Like, come on. And
right.
he did get over there and he complimented his girls and he spun his wife around who hates him. Like, I don't know if that's fair. Like that. And the producer said, like, your wife's here. And he was like, oh, okay. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you're
There's a
right.
lot that's wrong with him, but like,
You're
this
right.
isn't it.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And he was genuinely wowed by his daughters and by his wife,
Yes, I think he
and
is real proud of his
yeah,
family, and
his
she, I
family,
think, is
totally.
too. Yeah.
Oh God. Denise and Aaron Pfeiffer show up, and it's like I have a different reaction watching Cynthia Bailey walk in than I do to seeing Denise Richards and Aaron Pfeiffer show up, because I don't vibe well, I don't mesh well with the anti-vax woo-woo health crowd, and Aaron is definitely that, and I'm sure he believes that like seed oils are bad and all that shit. And I just have less than zero tolerance for people like that. And this goes back to, and I've talked about this in therapy. I have talked about this in therapy. This goes back to my cosmic scoreboard that like people that are anti-vax don't get a point, and I do because I'm pro-vax. Done.
I mean, fortunately, he didn't get much airtime because,
No, fortunately, he did
yeah.
not. And Denise's outfit was just 10 kinds of a fucking mess. It was like
What
Barbie
was
mob wife, and just like the pink. And yeah, it's true. It was a white party. And she's like, well, oh God, she just does not give a flying fuck about these women. She does not care
I
about
kinda
them.
love
And
her for
I
that.
know, me too, me too.
And Dorit was rude to her, like, everyone's asking after PK, and Dorit keeps having to say, like, "Oh, he's in London," or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but Denise asks, like, "Where's PK?" And she goes, "He's in London." "Oh, you're not supposed to be wearing pink." I'm like, "Don't turn on her because your husband's a dickhead." Like, that's not don't
right,
make her feel like shit just because PK's a dick bag.
right, right. Oh God, oh God. We learned that Steve ghosted Sutton, but
Did he?
I don't know. Like she said,
No.
he texted me 2 days after he ghosted me, and I'm like,
So
"But
he didn't. That's
so
not
he didn't
ghosting.
ghost you." And I don't I guess so I guess they're not going on a third date? Is that what we were supposed to I don't
What I
know.
took away from this is Sutton's drunk because
Oh my God.
she said, "I heard from him 2 days after he ghosted me," and I'm like, that doesn't add up." And then she yeah, I mean, whatever. I think Sutton is banging her driver, and this was all just like a forced, stupid storyline, and she's wrapping it up for us by saying, like, "I'm better than that. I'm not he ghosted me even though he texted me all the time." And then saying, giving a shout out to Annalise or whatever her dating coach's name was. So she's just wrapping up this storyline that nobody cared about and was bullshit anyways. So that's fine with me. However, my favorite line of the episode, Garcelle says, she goes, "Whatever, there's other Steves in the fish. I mean, in the sea. I don't know. Listen, fuck Steve. We're good."
Garcelle
There's
is
other Steves in the fish.
there's other Steves in the fish.
Fuck
Yeah.
Steve. We're good.
There's more darts to be had in LA on a date. Shit. Yeah, she wants to date her business, and that's what she's
Hmm.
in love with. And I did say go forth, Sutton, because old habits die hard, Margaret.
What do you mean? Oh,
Old
you love
habits like
Sutton.
I love
Yeah.
Sutton. I love Sutton. I
Yeah,
love
I
Sutton.
wish her nothing but the best, and later she trips on the dance floor and blames Avi.
Oh
So,
my
you know what I
God.
mean? Like, she's
You're
not
right.
okay.
Oh my God. Oh
She's like, "Well,
God.
nobody told me the dance floor was there." It's like, "Well, because everyone can see it, but you're
Dude, I
drunk." And
know.
so
Oh
and then
my
you're like,
God.
"Avi?"
Oh
Anyway,
my
she's
God.
just but again, I'm projecting Sutton is my dad, and so
No,
all I'm
I
doing is watching her the way I watch him at a party.
other people, it's it's in the ethers. I am
Mhm.
in hella fucking denial. Hella denial. I'm in a hella denial about my problematic queen. This next scene, or this next scene, made me sad. The mutual friend Santiago telling Kyle, like, yeah, I asked Mauricio where the party was going to be, and he said the parking lot, and she's like, what the fuck, And um, I I understood where Kyle was coming from, because it felt like this is a huge deal. They've done it every year for nearly 20 years. It's the it's the unspoken expectation that that's what they're going to be doing, unless it's COVID. And for him to just go through the motions, there's difference between like hearing and listening. And I know that's like not new information at all, but they're not connecting. He's not paying attention to her. That's the whole issue, until the end when we don't really know what she's talking about. Well, I guess we kind of do. But anyway, she's disappointed, and I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this a little before. Like, I just it's not about whether if he knew where the if he knew where the party was taking place. Like,
Right.
this is just Kyle at the end of her rope. She's done being ignored or half listened to,
Yeah.
and she needs to feel important, and he's never doing that. This is just one more example. So, everything at this point, everything he does or does not do is going to bother her, and it's just sad. It's just, it's clear that this relationship is not going to survive, because when you're
Yeah.
mad about your husband not knowing where in a giant stadium venue a party's going to be, like, something else, something much deeper and bigger is at play there. It's sad.
I mean, it is fair though, like, Kyle's like, "Do I look like the kind of person do I seem like the kind of person that's gonna throw a party in a fucking parking lot?"
Yeah, but if you put that party planner on a parking lot, you're gonna have a fucking sick party. You know what I mean? Like, I
Okay,
just don't,
counterpoint, counterpoint.
and
Yes, you're
also
right, you're
it's
right.
not normal for any football team to allow people on the field. Like, that's an expensive piece of grass. So, like, it's a huge deal, actually. I was really, I would have loved to be there. It'd be so cool to walk onto the field and then
Um,
dance around on the 50-yard line.
uh, when Josh was still working for Facebook, when it was still called Facebook, they had their, 2014 holiday party at I think it's now called Oracle Park, but back then it was AT&T Park where the San Francisco Giants play, and they had their party there, their holiday party there, and it was real fucking fun and real fucking glamorous, and walking on the field is a trip.
It's
It's a
so
trip. It's just
cool.
such a weird perspective just physically, just, like, dimensionally, and yeah, it was fun. It
It's the
was
best. It's one of
it
the
was
reasons
fun.
I liked the LA Marathon route used to go from Dodger Stadium to the Santa Monica Pier, and you'd show up at Dodger Stadium at 4:30 in the morning, but you get to stand in the stadium, and suddenly it's like it's so grand and,
It's
like,
so grand.
exciting. There's something
Yeah,
about being, I don't know, on the ground inside the stadium that's like that's a whole experience. So, good for
totally,
Kyle. She landed a great
totally.
venue.
Ah, Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne, Mikey's leading Erika Jayne and her backup dancers in a prayer circle, and this is the first time that she has performed in 4 years, and he starts getting emotional at the
It's
beginning, and I was like, "What the fuck satire am I watching in this moment of my life? What is happening on
It
my
was
screen?"
absurd because, once again, you're performing at your friend's party. It's not
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium for a crowd of
No.
anyone who paid to see you.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh my
she's so
god.
ridiculous. She's there, like, sucking on a lozenge, and I'm just like, "Get over yourself. You're about to lip sync. You're not
Oh my
Madonna. Like,
god.
don't. You're so embarrassing."
Oh my god. Oh my
And then
god.
she takes over the prayer and says, like, "My only happiness is on stage." And I'm like, "You are so fucking annoying." And then
She's
she congratulates
deluge.
herself for, like, putting in work and persevering. Just barf.
I just, like I didn't appreciate Kyle either, like, I your friend is a fucking grifter.
I know.
At best, like, she might not have technically done the grifting, but I do believe that she was aware of the grift. Like, no one should be championing
No,
this
to
person. Yeah.
to
I
introduce her by saying, "Who else but Erika Jayne?" I'm like, "Literally anyone else. You're so rich, you bought out SoFi Stadium. Get anyone else
get
in here, please."
Berlin.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, Berlin.
Get Berlin, get
Um,
Taylor Dayne, whatever, you know? Morgan
honestly,
Wade. Morgan
well,
Wade. Oh, yeah, I
enough.
guess not. If yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I thought Erika Jayne's this is where, Kyle introduces Erika Jayne, and that Kyle sees Denise in the audience and says, "Hi, Denise, we haven't said hi yet." And Sutton goes, "We said hi." And it's like, "No, she said Denise, Sutton, drunk, okay. Anyways." And everyone is just like, "Huh?" And moved
she
on.
wasn't just saying that, like, Sutton wasn't just saying, like, "Oh, I said hi to Denise. You didn't say hi to Denise. I said hi to
Maybe.
Denise."
If she was my dad, she would have said it how I
Oh
interpreted it,
god.
and so, of
Oh
course, that's how I
god,
saw it,
Ramona.
because it just sounds like she's getting 90% of the information, but the other is just floating around in, like, the booze in her head, and so, anyways, who knows?
Oh god, oh
And I thought
god.
Erica's performance was totally fine. It's like, she looks great, the stage is great, the dancers are great, good for her. Enjoy it while you can, because 'cause you're eventually gonna
Margee,
go to jail.
Margee, I have very little formal dance training, like, very little. I feel like I could do with the exception for now of the splits, working on it, the exception for now with the I was like, where is her, like, passion? Like, she's not throwing anything into this. I feel like I could have done a better job dancing than her.
Without a doubt. She's lucky she is surrounded by, like, really good energized dancers because she is just, you know, she's just
Oh,
a needle thin lady
oh,
walking around lip syncing.
ay, ay, yoy, ay, yoy. Let's see.
I did laugh at Dorit saying in her confessional, she got out there and gave the people what they wanted. She's a real showman. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's a nice little full circle moment because that's how Erika defended telling everyone that PK and Dorit are getting divorced at BravoCon.
Oh, shit, that's
Yeah, that's
right.
the exact language. So I thought that was pretty funny. Good for
Oh my
Dorit.
god. Was that, like, a dig, was it just a coincidence that she said that? Was that intentional?
I assumed it was because it's literally the exact same language. But
Holy shit, I didn't even miss that. I mean, I didn't even get that. Or I missed
yeah,
that. I meant to say, yeah. Oy, oy, oy. Um, the season wrap-up card started like, running through, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And I was like, "Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Oh, that's right. How boring would this episode have been without
yes. No, the
picking
real
cameras
show
back up?"
starts after.
So, do we wanna briefly go through the wrap-up cards, the season
Yeah.
finale wrap-up
I mean,
cards?
Erica is gonna make more music and videos, and her bet on Blonde finally paid out. Dorit basically says, we learned that London, PK has now been in London for 39 days.
39 days.
That's so long. That's a very long time, especially because she's been begging him to come home since he left. And she says, as hard as I try, it feels like he's never going to take me seriously and he's never going to be present as I need him to be when I need him. And maybe he'll never change, but do I have to accept that he won't? Can I? I don't know. And I think that was like you said, that's our
Right.
tease for next season when
Yeah.
she leaves PK. And then the card said that the real distance is between Dorit and Kyle, who have not spoken since December. But is everyone mad because Kyle didn't tell them that her marriage was crumbling? Like, is
I th
that
I
why
think
everyone's
so.
so
I think so,
so
or
confused by
did
that?
something come back up with Kyle? Like, did Dorit do something again, like, talk to Kathy or whatever? Like, did she do something that, in Kyle's opinion, is a betrayal of
Oh,
their closeness? But, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe Dorit is like, "You didn't tell me how bad it was with you and Mauricio, and I'm really hurt." I have no idea. But I was shocked. Did we know about that? Had that come out in the blogs and I've just
what?
forgotten that
What
Dorit
that
and Kyle aren't speaking?
I hadn't seen anything about it, and I guess I'm just confused as to, like, I mean, you can have your feelings hurt if someone didn't tell you that their life was falling apart, but her life is falling apart. Like,
Yeah.
don't not talk to her right now. Like,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
friend's dead, her husband's gone, he's on a mountain, like you said, shirtless with 2 Instagram models. Like, be
Right.
ju just set that aside for a fucking second. Like, I don't
Right.
know, unless there must be something else. I'm sure we'll get into it at
Oh
the
god,
reunion, but
I have not been so excited for a reunion since Salt Lake City, which I guess was just a couple months ago.
God,
Thank you,
so weird.
2024, or like last month.
I have no
God,
idea.
does 2024 already feel like it's been a whole year and
It does.
not just like 6 or 7 weeks? It feels like it's been a long ass 2024 so far. Oh, fucking Anne Marie, dude.
It just who cares? I just don't care. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The only thing, it's like she and Crystal haven't spoken. Listen, high five, Crystal. Go where the love is, dude. Like, fuck that lady. And
Has
she doesn't give
anyone
out.
spoken to her? Like, no, just nobody cares.
I don't understand. Again, this is also another thing that I don't understand. Just like I don't understand how Erica can think that she's doing a comeback by playing at SoFi. I don't believe. I don't understand in what world Anne Marie has to be in. Listen, if I walk into, she says that not everyone is going to like everybody else, and that's okay. But if I'm walking into a situation, if I'm walking into a new cast and I ruffle like 50 to 75% of their feathers, you know, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Like if I were Anne Marie, I'd be like, oh God, what, what do I do about this? Like, why are people so repelled by me? you know? But I guess she doesn't feel like that. She's just gonna chalk it up to not everybody likes everybody else. Like, sure. But
I
all
just
at the same
literally
time?
I have no idea who she is or what
I don't
she's about,
either.
so everything she says just lands with, like, a
Yeah,
it's like a about as exciting as a dial tone. I'm just like,
dude.
"I okay, you're not gonna
Uh,
give medical advice at parties. I just don't care." Crystal has accepted her brother's choice to separate from the family and move to Thailand. Garcelle is just wrapping up her story of meeting people where they're at. Better version of Garcelle. I thought that was cute. And then Sutton eats shit on the dance floor. Okay. And then she
God.
says, she goes, again, this is just like whatever. It's drunk man language. She goes, "Excuse me, I did not see the stage right there. Avi, why would you push me like that?" I was like, all of a sudden.
Oh,
And it
God.
wasn't just like a gentle like trip. She like
No.
she
She
crumbled.
ate shit.
She
She
literally
literally
ate
ate shit.
shit.
And
It
it was
was
hard to figure out what happened. Like, was she leaning back for the stage? Was she what was she doing? Oh,
her
God.
equilibrium is not in the building.
Oh,
And
God.
she
Oh,
just
yeah.
bit it. And poor Avi. But then she applauds herself again for being an independent businesswoman who now has over $300,000 a month coming in. And she's growing her brand. And I still have never seen a soul in a Sutton garment or accessory. So I'm fine. I mean, like even Lisa Rinna, like actually hustles and sells her dusters. I can't with Sutton right now.
Quality, not quantity.
And then she's saying she's adjusting to having her son full time. And, like, he's a self-sufficient teenager, and he
Yeah.
came with a truckload of child support. Like, what are you talking about? What is
Oh,
so hard about your life, Sutton? I'm so confused.
oh, I don't know.
I know.
Adjustment is relative. Things are relative.
I
I
mean, I
don't
don't
know.
know if James has, like, a backstory or something, but, like, I just don't see it's your kid, he's grown, and, there's buckets of cash that came with this arrangement. So, like, what
Loads. You're
is
right.
the
You're right.
problem?
You're right.
Anyways.
So then we get the title card 1 month later. The People magazine article came out on July 3rd. Very good timing because we were headed into the July 4th weekend. Unfortunately, for like Bravo fans, that didn't make no goddamn difference. Bravo fans are on the clock
We don't celebrate
24/7.
holidays.
There's no
No
holidays.
days
Right.
off.
Exactly. No days off. Oh, shit. So everyone starts speculating, and Sutton thinks that Kyle was lying the entire time, that she knew this was going to be happening, and that the entire season that they filmed, she's known that this is going on, and she hasn't shared about it, which, duh, right? Like, duh,
Yeah, and
right? Yeah.
I don't think Sutton was yeah, I just don't buy that Sutton was surprised. Like everybody knew, you know. It's why she was up Kyle's ass. It's why Garcelle said, "What's going on with your marriage?" You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
your
like nobody's
marriage, right.
I was surprised by how surprised everyone was. It's just like
Yeah,
you saw Morgan Wade play at the I just I don't know. But maybe it's cuz at that point we'd all been so steeped in it so it didn't
yeah.
seem as like shocking. But I thought it was really interesting when Kyle says that Mauricio was focused on who planted the story, which is interesting because I do wonder if it was Kyle via Morgan, as Rob suspects, or what. And Kyle claims that all she cared about was how it was affecting the family, the children. And I'm like, well, I think maybe both of you have a point. Like, clearly,
Mm.
this took Mauricio by surprise. And I imagine Kyle knew that it yeah, I imagine Kyle knew that this
Really?
was gonna come out. I mean, it was
Damn.
such a complete article, like yeah, and then she basically says that since the article has come out, that the tension between the 2 of them is just unbearable. But I did think it was nice when Erika came to Kyle's. I liked what Erika had to say. "Oh, you rolled your eyes at me."
I did. No, I didn't roll your eyes at you. I just, yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, I
Oh
don't
my God, you're right. It
she's
was
full of
nice of her.
shit, but, like, she said some right things.
She said some right things, but yeah, sh- I just, I don't
I mean
know. I think that she apologizes for not being more observant, but I think she was observant. I just think she didn't
oh,
give a shit enough.
that was ridiculous. I
Okay?
thought that was so insane. Like, what a dumb thing to say.
Mm.
It broke my heart when Kyle said that the hardest part is that there's not one big thing that broke them up, and it's just been needing and wanting more from a marriage, and she said, "I can't get it from Mauricio." And, and she explained their dynamic when they first met. They were opposites. She always says without her, he'd be dead, and without him, she'd never take chances, and, like, that it makes sense that they would get together.
Yeah.
And then Erika says, "You should still be proud, Kyle." And Kyle, of course, is melting down, saying, "I don't feel proud right now. I've let everybody down, her family and her fans and everything."
27-year marriage is a
Mhm.
fucking success.
Huge, with
I
kids
mean,
who are thriving and, like,
right.
and
It,
trying to peacefully work your way out of it. Like, Mauricio, nobody's blowing it up. They're trying to do this in, like, a respectful way.
as far as what we're saying, yeah, that's absolutely
Right.
true. Yeah.
But I liked what Erika said here. She said, "Kyle says, I don't feel proud right now." And Erika says, "Why? Because you have problems? Because you're human?" She goes, "There are two people in this marriage, so everyone else's opinion can fuck off. You have to make yourself happy. You've raised these girls, you've been a wife to this man, you've been a great sister, a great daughter. But if you're not happy inside, whatever that means to you, you must take time to figure out what you need and where you need to go in this life." And I was like, okay,
Yep.
like,
Broken clock.
right?
Broken clock is right twice a day. Absolutely. 100%.
And then Kyle, in
100%.
despair, answers, "And what if we can't work it out?" And then we head to a week later where suddenly she and Mauricio are in the kitchen together.
Oh my God. That kitchen scene was so, it was palpably uncomfortable to me.
It was like the
It
wet
was,
bar scene from last week times a
yeah, it was
million. I was just like,
palpable. It
"I
was
want out."
hella palpable. Yeah. Yeah. Mauricio needs to go to Panama to open up another office. Like, bro, this isn't the fucking time. This isn't the time. But
I
therein
mean,
lies the disconnect,
and
right?
I just
Or at
think it's
least one of the
over.
disconnects.
Even if
Yeah.
he stayed, I think Kyle's done,
Yeah. I think
She's
so too.
just, and then Mauricio tries to make a joke and whoops, he goes, "I'm just glad it's you out there having an affair." And she goes,
Oh
"Well,
my,
for once it's me." And it
oh
was
my
like,
God.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Um, and then they
Oy.
say that things were much worse than they let on to their kids, and they feel really bad for letting them down. But that to me sounds normal. I don't think any parents are updating their kids on how bad things are. I hope not. It's not their
Yeah,
problem. Like, I don't think they did. I don't think they necessarily did anything wrong, which is why I'm sad that Kyle's getting all this heat. Like,
I
I don't
know.
think they wanted their marriage to end. I think they were trying to not talk about this so that they can heal their marriage
Right.
and move on, but
Yeah,
they couldn't. So now here we are.
exactly. They wanted to make sure they had all the information they needed before they told their children
Yes.
what was going to go down.
Or their
And
friends or the press or
right,
whatever. Like, that's
exactly.
fair.
Dude, when
Oh,
Portia
sorry.
started crying, oh yeah, so they called I'm sorry, go ahead. I skipped. Go
No,
ahead, please.
that's it. They call a family meeting with their daughters and they want to open up the conversation about everything that's been coming out in the press. And Mauricio explains he wanted to protect them, and he's clearly pissed about being blindsided by this article, like pissed. And he is punishing Kyle for it. But
Mm,
Kyle assures the kids that they haven't spoken about divorce. And then one of them asks, "Okay, well, what now?" And Kyle says they're taking space to work through this. And whoever it was said, like, "You need space to work through this." I was like, yes, call them
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And then Portia broke down, and so did I. My heart just absolutely broke for her. And
Oh
all of the girls
God,
are crying. And it's just like the dissolution of a family is heavy shit.
it
Like, and they're
is.
doing it like in my family, it was it slowly fell apart and then exploded. These guys are doing everything right, and it's still devastating. I'm like, "Oh no, there's no way to not feel destroyed when your family comes undone." It's just, ugh, so heartbreaking for everyone.
I I was like, "Oh my God, will my parents please get," like, once I was a teenager, I was like, "Can they please get divorced?" Oh my God, but I just wanted my dad out of the fucking house, you know? I just wanted
Yeah.
him gone. So, I was, like, praying for it, but this is not, those kids had present parents, like, Farrah's been raised by Mauricio,
Mhm.
and
And they all
yeah,
did
they loved both of their
familycations.
parents.
Mhm.
Which, Margie, does it ever trip you out? Like, sometimes when people love their dad, I'm always like, "Wow, you love your dad too? You don't just love your mom?" I see people that love their dad, and I'm like, "Oh my god," like, my kid loves his dad, and I obviously, I know why, but, like, when Josh was still working in an office and, he would he'd come home, it was such a wildly different situation to see my kid, like, run to the window, to see his car pull into the garage, and then, "Papa, papa," when he walked in, whereas I would hear my dad's, car door close, and I would be like, "Oh, motherfuck, motherfuck, here it comes. What hell are we all in for now?"
When my dad would
Oh my
pull up on
god.
his fucking loud ass Harley that we could hear coming blocks away, my sister and I would pretend to be asleep. So he'd come in the house and we would both be like lying on a couch in the den at just pretending to be asleep. And I
I
mean, that's
mean,
so fucked up.
the
And I don't know if
lengths.
he's so
Dude.
checked out that he didn't realize we were faking it, which is terrible, or if he was just like, "Oh, they're asleep, fuck them," and left. Like it's all of it's ridiculous, but we all got our own way. He didn't have to raise his daughters and we didn't
Right,
have to
and you
engage
didn't
with
have to
him,
talk
so
with them.
fine.
Right, exactly,
But
exactly.
yes, I'm with you. It is very different. I remember the first time I saw a father-daughter relationship where I was like, "Oh, it can be like not gross and critical." It's my
Yeah,
friend, the first friend that got married after college, just a couple years after college, Carrie, she and her dad during their father-daughter dance, I was floored. I turned to my boyfriend at the time and I was like, "Have you ever seen this before?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You haven't met
yeah,
my
like,
family yet."
all the
But
time.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I was watching just awed with like you could see the dad was looking at her with so much pride and so like excited for her joy and no strings attached, no nothing. Like it was so lovely. And I'm so impressed that my closest friends who came out of wretched households have built families with really good
yeah,
men. Like
yeah.
it's really, you know, it's lovely.
It is, it
It's
is.
miraculous,
It truly is, it truly
Or
is.
it's not. It's the result of a shit
It's
ton
the
of
result of a
work
shit
and
ton of work, right, and
yes.
making choices like, "Okay, I mean, yeah, dude, I would watch for behavior, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah." I mean, it's a trip though to be like, "Wow, they love their dad." Like, it
Yeah.
still is it's getting more normal for me now, though.
Yeah.
Then she says in her confessional that there were things that happened that broke her trust. What do you think that was?
He cheated.
You think
Like,
so?
yes. I think for years, I think once the agency blew up and he started traveling, he's a party guy. Like, I just don't think he said no to a blowjob behind the bar at various events. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I wonder if down the line it just became an arrangement, but I think what she said last week of like I'm not willing to accept behavior that I wouldn't want my daughters to accept. I think that's
Bruh.
what's real. Is she's like I can't he's not going to change. I can't model this for them 1 minute more. They've already seen too much. It'll probably affect them, but
Oh
like
my god.
she doesn't have to like that's yeah.
God.
I
We
that's what
learn
I think. I don't know.
yeah. We learn she's reconciled with Kathy and she just wants peace. And then when she's told that she was released from her confessional, she just started sobbing, and I was so sad for her.
And she said, she goes, "Are we done?" And the producer says, "Yes." And then she collapses with her head in her hands and just says, "It's over." And I was just like, that
I
has
know.
on so many levels this season, this interview session, your marriage, your life as you once knew it. Like, and she said when, I don't remember when it was that she said this, but when the news broke and she was with her kids and they were crying, and she said, "I realized that my life was over. My life as I knew it was over." And it's just so true. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean what's next isn't going to be wonderful, but God, there's a lot of like muck to slog through on your way to like your next round of blessings. So
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right.
but
Yep.
she said, "I just want to be at peace wherever I'm at because I haven't really had that." And I was like, "Oh, sad."
It is sad. It is
That's That's
sad.
a lot of work to try and stay up when you're not,
Yep.
you and I know, like,
Oh my God.
we put
Masking.
yeah, you put your piece at the bottom of the list and then you try to please everyone else. And then, yeah,
Yeah. So fucking grim ass ending, and then we
Mm.
see clips from next week where Erika Jayne says, or Andy shares to Kyle that Erika Jayne has asked that he eviscerate her. So we go from when she's, at Kyle's house offering comfort to this. And I have to say, like, again, as someone who has, for the last 12 seasons, obviously not this season, she took a back seat with the fucking be honest shit because she knew that, like, you point your finger and there were going to be three pointing back at her saying, your turn, Ms. Richards. And so I can understand her castmates' frustration with her for not being honest when that's been like her fucking mantra, her Chiron. Like Kyle Richards wants people to be honest, you know? And I don't know. I kind of want to see it too, but she's also like, don't kick her when she's down. But then
Yeah.
we wanted to kick Erika Jayne when she was down, but Erika Jayne's offenses were grave, and this is like you can kind of rationalize it. Like she wanted to keep a lid on the biggest thing in her life that was potentially collapsing.
That affects 4
That
children, and
affects
I know a
4
lot of them are
children.
grown, but
Right.
this if she talks about it on the show, their lives are changed,
Right.
and I
Oh my
think she was
god.
waiting to talk about it on the show until she knew it was permanent so that she didn't have to put them through a are your parents really getting divorced? Like,
Right.
now everybody knows what's happening. Like, I don't know. I guess
Ooh.
I get it, but I'm just surprised at how callous they are about this is a family. It's not just Kyle's divorce. Like, I told my sister that when she was going through her divorce. I'm like, "You're not the only one getting
It's
divorced.
100%
Your kids
true.
are getting divorced. I'm getting divorced. We're
Right.
all getting
We're all getting
divorced. It's
divorced.
traumatic
Right.
for
Right.
everyone that
Right.
your
Right.
beautiful marriage until it wasn't anymore touched, you know? So, like, I just am surprised
Yeah.
how vicious they are about this particular subject matter on the heels of her friend committing suicide. Like, this is a horrible time for Kyle.
Ooh.
Just,
You're
and her
right.
sister, like, this is not the time to be all righteous about, like, she lied.
Maybe it's for a different reason. Maybe it's not.
Maybe.
Maybe
That would be
it's
great.
it would be great. It would
Yeah.
be great. But yeah, more will be revealed. I'm real excited. I'm
Yeah. I'm
real
just
excited.
shocked that Erica wanted her eviscerated. It's
Ay,
like,
ay, ay.
why? Because she booked you at SoFi Stadium. She launched your comeback. What the
Oh
fuck are
my
you talking
God.
about? But maybe it is
She's
something
back.
different. Maybe Kyle, like, talked to the feds or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there's more going on, but I can't wait for the reunion. Can't wait.
I can't either. I got to watch the Hustler and the Housewife, or the Housewife and the Hustler, whatever. I need to
Yeah.
watch it. I completely forgot. Okay, so speaking of, okay, do you have anything else to say about the?
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
me either.
I'm just sad.
I know. It's just, it was, shit.
Pain
What a
and change and
season.
grief. Yeah.
Yeah. What else did you watch this week, friend?
I watched Vanderpump Rules and I watched Tom Sandoval take an ice bath and say he wants his old life back and just continues to be a remorseless turd. And then
What,
I'm sure you heard about this New York Times
what,
article. Like,
what, again, Anna Marie, Erika Jayne, Tom Sandoval. Can you, I, I don't know how, I'm rendered speechless. I'm sorry. I'm
I
rendered
think I'm
speechless.
just so glad that he's finally facing consequences.
Me
He's just a
too.
real, like, I don't think before I speak kind of guy, and I'm
Oh
so
my
charming I
God.
can get away with it. But now you're not charming. You're like a really gnarly cheater and mean to your girlfriend, your ex, like about her body on TV. Like, he's just a monster. So there is no forgiveness when you compare yourself to OJ Simpson and George
Oh
Floyd.
my
Interesting
God.
choices, Tom. Did you really
Yes.
not think that through at
He
all?
really didn't.
Yikes.
He really didn't. He
You are not
really didn't.
my god. It just
Oh my
was
God. Oh my
he's a mess,
God.
and he issued an apology, but it's just like,
Oh
dude,
no.
you're not learning. You need to think before you speak, and I don't know if you're capable. Like,
No.
you're just
Constitutionally incapable of being honest with himself and other people.
and he just doesn't think that he deserves this the ire that he's receiving, and it's like, but you keep doing it to yourself. You did one really horrible thing a year ago, and since then, you keep making it worse. So, like,
He keeps making it
sorry,
worse.
buddy. Um,
Fuck.
I watched Love Is Blind, not all of them yet, but I watched some of them. And the only thing I thought of in relation to this podcast is I wish they had marriage counseling. You know, they meet with just speaking to each
Pitch
other. And,
it.
yeah, right. But I think it would ruin the whole premise. No one would get married if they had to go
But
through
I mean, like
legitimate marriage counseling.
after the
Right.
fact,
Maybe.
maybe, you know?
Yeah. Because
Like we
they
can watch,
just,
yeah, like a marriage boot camp, but for the
yeah.
Love is Blind couples.
It would be an interesting element to add in because they all really need it. That's a tough road they put those kids
God,
on. Oof.
really, I love watching that show, but I also,
Ugh,
it's so hard. It's
it is
so hard.
hard.
Yeah.
Some more episodes dropped, and I'm just like, I can't yet. I just can't yet. It's just like too much. And then the last thing I watched was The Bachelor, and we briefly talked about how that opening scene of Joey just telling his truth, and I wrote down this quote and I sent it to you where he says, "I don't feel the need to be perfect. I feel like people expect me to be." And I was like, "Ooh."
Oh my God. I, it was so refreshing. Like, again, all of the bachelors and the bachelorettes will eventually come back to disappoint you. Maybe Joey is going to subvert that dominant paradigm within this franchise. It's quite possible, and if anyone can do it, I do believe that Joey can. Like everyone goes on that show and they just want to present this like super, I'm really positive. I'm always positive. I'm always positive. Like, great. I have a feeling that Joey might struggle with depression from time to time.
I saw it in his
Yeah,
eyes and the
me
language he
too.
used. I was
Yes.
like, "Oh, I'll
Yes.
marry you. I have it
I know.
too."
He's 100%. I was like, oh. And Joey, like he's like, I'm not happy all the time. I'm not always in a great place. And I was like, oh my God, best bachelor ever.
Mhm.
Joey is the best bachelor ever. He's keeping shit real.
And he was
Yeah,
crying, like,
he
he
was
was
crying.
emotional, like, and that
Yeah,
is a ton of pressure to be the lead and, like, that yeah, the way the girls approach every time is like, "Wee! It must
I
just be, like,
know.
exhausting if you're not
Exhausting to
feeling.
always be on. Oh
Yes, and
my
you can do it
God.
if you're well practiced at it, which he appears to be, but, like, that opening, I'm so glad they showed it.
Me
He couldn't
too.
even finish the interview, he had to walk off and, like, have a seat on a bench, and a camera, followed him and got up in his face, which was too bad. Just can't get a
Yeah.
break, but I loved him.
And he's only 26. Like
I know.
he's an old soul. He really does seem
Yeah.
wise beyond his years. He's had a really interesting, life. Not everybody has the kind of what happened with his parents. Like that's I don't know if that's a common, you know, um circumstance. And it just I really like him because most of the other bachelors are just so fucking like I really love so and so because she's always really positive. Like, yeah, she's probably really positive because she thinks that's what you want to see. Humans
Yeah.
aren't like that. And then you get where PK and Dorit are, and you're like, oh, fuck. My wife is a real person and she
Mhm.
has things, and humans are complicated, and we have a big span of emotions. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is your time to talk. Oh my God.
No, that's it, I'm done. I mean, if I watched anything else I don't remember, those were the ones that stuck out, but yeah, no, that's, you know, as you would say, net net, Joey's the best.
Net Joey's the best. I too watched The Bachelor and texted you immediately. I was like 2 minutes in and I fucking rewound it. I was like, oh my God, Joey's the best. I really loved that Lexi had to, like, she was like, I can't, I can't bend on these. These are my internal
Mhm.
boundaries and I gotta go. I have these things. I want these things. And this isn't gonna work. And I really loved that for her.
Me
I
too.
really respected that for her. The jury for me is still out on Maria. Yeah, I love that Rachel was able to like her sense of humor. She's not like making funny, cute jokes. She's making the sarcastic little like dig jokes. And he has that sense of humor that can handle it.
Mhm.
And I'm just really, listen, I'm loving a lead who is, again, I've said this before, he's real attracted to the ladies with more melanin. And as someone that has more melanin and as someone that never felt like that was okay, again, when you're Gen X and you're growing up during grunge and all the supermodels, with the exception of Naomi Campbell, are white and ultra thin, like uh, he's he's not fetishizing them. He's not, saying, "Ah, I really like Rachel for her exotic good looks." Like he's I don't know. I love seeing it because representation fucking matters, and it's really great because I don't think people listen, and this could be totally different now, and it could have just been my own insecurities, but when all around you is white, when all around you is fucking white, Beverly Hills 90210, Melrose Place, like everything, like the supermodels of the time, Winona Ryder, like, our gateway manic pixie dream girl, like I was not that. I didn't look like that. Not just my skin color, my body never looked like, the dominant thing. And I really appreciate seeing this like evangelical Christian white beachy waves pumpkin spice latte franchise. I like that a lot of the leads aren't white, and that makes me real happy.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think this season is like the most progress
100%.
we've seen on that front, including having a lead who is open to dating all types, shapes of women,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, he's the
And then
best.
I don't know how this happened, but I think because we watch Beverly Hills and then I'm trying to like go to sleep so I can be up and ready for the podcast, I wait to watch Miami until I have free time. Free time. So I caught up on I want to say like at least 4 episodes of Miami, like all of Mexico City. Oh, okay. So I watched that. I continue to love Dr. Nicole more and more. I relate to her so much because of how she and her dad's relationship has played out and how she feels about it. I relate so much. And her telling Alexia, like, suck a dick, bitch. I'm
Mhm.
not going to be friends with my fucking dad if he's a piece of shit. Like, I don't care that we share DNA and RNA and whatever. Like, be a good person. Blood does not, or family is not necessarily blood, blah, blah, blah. Um, oh no. And then I watched Vanderpump. And after Vanderpump, Vanderpump is just so yawn. My God, it's a torture. It's a torture. It was hard to watch Sandoval and LVP have that conversation, about how down he felt. And I'm not going to say one way or the other if he really felt like that or not. That's not for me to say. I will say that, like, watching LVP share her feelings about how she felt hearing that, coming from her experience with her brother, that was hard. And my point is, after Vanderpump was on, I watched it on Peacock, so it started automatically playing from couple to thruple right after. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And I don't know. I don't know a lot about polyamory, but from what I'm watching on that show, I'm not sure. These couples are looking for a third person to join, which I'm sure is one of the arrangements that is. I mean, polyamory is a massive spectrum, from what I understand. There's lots of ways you can define it, and but this show, it's just like I think there's some inaccuracies here. I really do. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure. And I was like kind of falling asleep when it started playing, and I was like listening. I'm all, what am I watching? And then I was like 2 or 3 episodes in, and it's just a wild train wreck. And it's just interesting. It was interesting. And I think that was it. I think that's it. Just caught up on Miami, which I fucking love. Last night was the season finale, I guess, and
Oh, it
I'm
was?
sad.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, I don't like Lisa Hochstein at all. I don't like Lisa Hochstein, and I don't have any sympathy for her. And obviously, I don't know her. I don't care to want to know her in real life. She makes choices that I wouldn't make politically, and that is enough for me. And I don't the way she raises her children makes me uncomfortable because I believe that she does things to like body shame them or kind of like plant those eating disorder seeds while they're real little. And that makes me uncomfortable. And I can't imagine what it's like to deal with someone like Lenny. That must be an utter torture. But I don't like her. That's all I have to say. That's it.
I hear that. I second that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what was your antidepressant?
So I got to do ketamine on Tuesday, and that's always amazing. And I listened back to, I always record my sessions so I can hear what I say while I'm under the medicine. And it's just always interesting. It's always interesting when the truth comes out when you have no ego.
Mm.
And it's always just the best, like the first few days after you do it. Like it's just, everything just feels real. Everything most for the most part feels right-sized, and it feels like you're able to because it just wants to eviscerate your ego. You can see hard things, but they don't make you as terrified as they would make me before the ketamine. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I got to do that. Um, Everyone's healthy. Everyone's yeah, God, there was one other thing I wanted to say, and I forgot what it was. I don't know. That's enough.
If it occurs to you, just
I will. I
hop
will.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, friend?
My antidepressant this week was was the Steak Mates. I've mentioned them before on this
Oh, that's
podcast, but
right.
it's a group of 5 of us who go to various steakhouses around the Los Angeles and surrounding areas. None of us eat steak, and it's just like fun and stupid. And this week, it was pouring rain. Everyone showed up on time, and one of our
Wow.
steak mates had a birthday during the week, but she showed up with presents for all of us, and they were wrapped
Oh.
in she'd found paper that looked like marbled steak, so they were all wrapped in steak paper, and it was a picture. We take a picture at each steakhouse that we go to, and she had gotten frames that say steak mates, and then she put a photo in
Oh
them and
my
gave us 2
God.
alternate photos that we can put in, and, like, it was just so thoughtful and wonderful, and, like, I just love that it became a weird thing, and
I
these
love
people
it.
are wonderful. They're hilarious and sensitive and thoughtful and brilliant. And like, I just love that I get to look forward to seeing them once a month and that, yeah, they're just wonderful people. So shout out to the
Totally.
steak mates.
Oh,
But
I love
it's
that.
really
That's
just
great.
a pitch for, connection. It's like I haven't been feeling like the best lately. And sometimes I just want to like hide until things are better. But
100%.
it's just a reminder that showing up to see your friends, showing up for your friends, you're of service when you show up, like, even if you feel like shit,
100%. That's exactly right.
and everybody benefits. Like,
Hmm.
that evening just, like, shifted you know, my chemicals and made for
Oh,
a better week.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. I love that. Where'd you guys go? Which steakhouse did you guys go
We
to?
went to fucking Lowry's.
Oh my God.
It looked like we all walked in and we were like, "Are we at like
Are we in a
Epcot
time
Center?"
capsule?
It's just like it
Right.
was so ridiculous. But that's part of the joy of these like steak
Totally.
mates journeys is like, we'd gone to Dantana's last time and it's like this old fashioned, like whatever. And this is just like, there's literal plastic shakers of seasoning salt on the table,
My God.
but yet they're like white tablecloths and they had that thing that looks like an Airstream trailer that holds like
Yep.
beef and like
All the
it's
prime rib.
just
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
just it's a trip. So
Yeah. Oh, I love it. God, there's
yeah.
nothing better than an old school steakhouse. Like, I can appreciate Kraft or Michael Mina up here or whatever, but there's something about walking into a dark red leather big ass menu as opposed to like a clipboard with, this shit was printed out like 5 minutes ago and a waiter in a goddamn like butcher apron crisscross in the back. Like I want, like, give me the man in the white shirt with the bow tie and give me a fucking Manhattan. And I just
And that's the other thing about all these steakhouses, it's the service staff. A lot of them are
totally.
like lifelong steakhouse people. Like it's
Hmm.
amazing. And they wear, yeah, like a white shirt and a bow tie and they know everything about the menu and like, I don't know. It's a ride. I
I
highly
love it.
recommend
I
if
love
people are
it.
looking for like a weird cheap activity. Well, not always cheap. We've
Not
gone
always
to
cheap,
some
but
that are
yeah.
like, but It's
Yeah,
it's the best. So that's my
totally.
antidepressant.
Oh, I love that. Steak mates.
Yep.
Well, that brings us back to the end of the episode. Well, not back to the end. It just brings us to the end in general. Oh my God. I meant to say this in the beginning, but I forgot. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you want to get a hold of us, you can please do so at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at A Therapeutic Dose. You can find us wherever you stream your podcasts. And as like even with like the bigger podcasts than us, we're still teeny tiny baby podcast. We can't stress to you how much it helps us to grow when you rate, review, subscribe. And we would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else, Margaret?
That's it. Everybody take good care of yourselves, and we'll
Yes.
talk next week.
We'll talk next week when we're here to give our takes on the first episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13 reunion, which
Can't
looks like a
wait.
doozy. I
When
love you so
Sutton
much,
gets the
friend. I
vapors, when she like
know.
fainted when
Oh my
Kathy came out.
God,
I'm
what
like,
was that?
this show, I don't
I was
know.
like,
Everyone's insane.
she's shaking. Does she have the DTs?
Yes, she does. I'm so glad to hear you say that. You're coming out of denial. Look at
I'm
you.
coming out of denial. I love her so much.
I know.
I
But you don't have
don't,
to hate.
I
You don't have
don't,
to hate an alcoholic.
I
It's just
don't,
they have a
I just,
disease, and she's,
I
But I
know.
don't know.
I'm
But I don't
so
know what that was
disappointed in
about. But she
myself.
did
Yeah,
literally get like the vapors. So
that
can't wait
was,
to see.
I know. I can't wait to see either. I can't wait to see it. Friend, I can never wait to see your face. I love you
Same.
so much. And everyone else, we love you. Take good care of yourselves this week, and we will talk to you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Ramona and Margee are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.